All right, C1x Road to launch, day 6.5. It's a couple hours after the last video I uploaded, which was day 6. Got a little food in me. Restarted my Mac. Performance is drastically improved. It took 20 seconds to load the app this time. I think we waited for at least 5 minutes at the end of the last video. But yeah, so already today we finished up the marketing plan, which was all of this down here. This preparation, went through that, did another round with ChatGPT, got all of that updated, implemented the new app icon, new launch screen, got that color scheme to be uniform all the way across. Let's go to our priority tasks, because I had not checked those off yet. So we got a new color scheme. Can talk, new app icon, updated the launch image, and implemented it. So I think the big pressing item for me right now is I have this launch display view in the app, and I want this to look better for social media. I think this right now is fine. For a full screenshot, and it looks better if the distances are added in just because there's more information. But the issue is that if you screenshot it, regardless of phone size, it doesn't match Instagram's dimensions, and that makes it a little challenging. So we're just going to start with ChatGPT. So I have a round display view in my stat keeping app, which displays a nice infographic of the stats from a user's round of disc golf after we'll just leave that. I built this to be a nice view which takes up the whole screen, but am using the structure below, but I also want this to be easily shareable to social media, namely Instagram, and want to implement a share button which saves a screenshot or directly imports that screenshot to the Instagram app, which shares a screen that is Instagram's dimension for a post, which is not the full screen. How do you think I could accomplish this? I know, lots of spelling errors, typing very fast. I want to go copy my code that I'm using in the round display view, because that's going to be a good starting point. Let's see where we at right here. Constrained box, max height, child column. That's how I'm doing it right here. Capture that as an image. It can be rendered off screen. Make sure it's constrained. Instagram's shareable size. 4:5. I think 4:5 is the ratio, the max ratio. This kind of makes it seem like 4:5 doesn't fit within this range, but tells us it's leave margins because they get off. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's the right size. Repaint boundary, you're gonna make me do that, huh? Tree off screen. Save or share the screenshot once you capture the image. Save it. Intent. Plugin. iOS optional. Open Instagram app directly. Build it here with the given. Okay. I'm unfamiliar with the separate widget. For the shareable version, would I just copy and paste my current infographic layout into this box? I suppose I can create a new view and navigation button just to look at this screen on the phone and test it. Just want to see what it says to that. Both counts, yeah. Okay. So on round management, we're going to make a new file, and this is going to be shareable display. And I'm going to call it 4:5 just because that's the ratio. Definitely copy into a reusable widget. If I'm duplicating code. Yeah. I mean, that does not make sense. So it's basically saying for me to just refactor all of this code into its own view, so I just call it twice. And that certainly does make a lot of sense. Certainly. On screen, full display, round. All right, so I like the idea of refactoring the code, but your example ignores my current structure, as I want that structure to still expand to the full screen height. Is there a way to refactor it while maintaining my current structure for the actual view? Check just the inner column children, yeah. All right, so we've got shareable display 4:5. And then we're going to go around infographic dart. And then I want this to consist of everything inside of this. So sized box, right, column, yeah, and then everything inside of that column, which is going to be here, starting with that row. So now we're down to the expanded else for, so this up to the row. Is that content? Oh, come on. There we go. Class round infographic. Content. Extends stateless widget. I'll just copy it again, that's fine. Okay, obviously missing some imports here. I think this is going to take care of most of them. Yeah. Just pass it like that. Okay. Yeah, I didn't make data. Use that widget in both places. Calculate round display score, round display calculations. Style presets I'm gonna want. I think I'm gonna want both of those. All right, so round parse I'm going to want. So we're gonna go final list int round parse. I don't think I need round index because I should be able to just pass that. Which this is all fine because the way I'm formatting this, I'm decreasing the dimension of it, and I just don't need round index anymore. And just when I pass it, I will need what's the issue here? These are all scores. Oh, yeah, that's not the dimension. Okay. Same issue here. Okay. Round distances. Yep, list int round distances. Like so. And then we can go down here, round distances. Drop that. Drop that. Screen width, bar percentages. So screen width I'm going to need. I gotta pass it somehow. How do I want to go about that? Let's go back to round display. Screen width is a double screen width. And then I have the bar percentages variable that I need to take into consideration. Where is that at? Bar percentages is equal to calculate bar percentages. Round display calculations is, where's my bar percentages? Circular bar. Returns list double. Okay. So final list double bar percentages. Like so. Let's go back down. Just gonna keep kind of checking this until I see what I'm missing. 9 number of rows needs to be an integer. 9 number of rows is an integer, and 9 holes to display is an integer, I believe. 9 number of rows is an integer. 9 holes to display is Build whole score summary, 9 holes to display. I'm just passing that variable, so that's an array. Okay. So final list int 9 number of rows. Final, or no, sorry, this is just an integer. And then final list int 9 holes to display. Okay. Build whole score summary. Did I build that out in the round display view? I did. That's just a widget. So I need to just import the round display view here. So round management here. And we just need to copy this, and this just needs to be round display. And that should, yeah, so these work now. Okay, I see the issue. I see the issue. We do need to make these two-dimensional. I'll just pass the round index to it. That's fine. List int list int. Those are fine. And I'm gonna have to come back and add round index in here. Final int round index. And then I'm gonna grab this now for all of these errors. And I'm doing this just because I need the full variable down below to pass to that build score summary, which is this part of the view here. Just keep freezing the capture. This is, man, that was so far back. Just the whole video at this point. Hate it so much. I don't understand why it does that. Why it just freezes the capture. I'll try and keep an eye on it. So I'm refactoring all the code right now. I built out a new view. I'm getting all the variables updated so that in the round display view I can take the part that's building this entire view and separate it out, call it separately, so that when this view is showing, it expands it to the whole screen, and then there will be a share button that will ideally shrink it to Instagram proportions and then save that to as like a screenshot to the user's photos. So that's the goal. That is what I'm hoping to do here. Round distances. Okay, we did mostly fix these. We've got stat attempts, circular percentages. That's what I need to, that's what I'm missing here. So we've got circular percentages, and that variable is returning a list double, I assume. Yep, list double. So we need a final list double circular percentages. And then the other one was stat attempts. Stat attempts is calculate num of attempts, which is circular, calculate list integer. Okay. So final list int calculate num of attempts. And I'm not going to move the calculations for these at all. They're going to stay within that round display view, but I'll pass them here. That's the goal. Didn't I just create that stat attempts? No, I did the function stat attempts. All right, it says I'm still missing one here. Oh, this is causing some issues. Okay, that's it. And then we just need to require this round parse. Yep, 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 circular, yep, 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 and yep. And yes, I need screen width. Okay. Try adding a named parameter to the constructor. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but oh, if round distances, round index contains 5. Okay. And then I did not need that one. So now the real test will be in my round display view. In my round display view, can I grab that entire section and delete it? About to find out. Round infographic content. Now let's try it. Let's reload the app. Not quite. Definitely did not quite work. It's all shrunk much more now. Capture froze again, so this is what it looks like now. So everything's there. It is kind of working, but it is definitely not spacing evenly. Did I do something in this? Space evenly, center. This one is still space evenly and center. Constraints max height. Okay. All right, so my original round display view now looks like this. My round infographic content looks like this. So we need to grab this. The content is now much more spaced out and doesn't sync by the spaced evenly I've set. Why is this? Or not much more spaced out, much more condensed. Large gaps. I see. Content fill. can expand. Neither of those can quite make sense to me though. What if I do that? That moves it to the top. On your option 2, don't I expanded further up the widget tree? That was the only reason I added the first one. I think this is far too many widgets and is overcomplicated. Instead of stacking containers, single child scroll view, child, constrained box. So it wants me to, I can copy this in. This is fine. Whoa. Whoa, where does he expand it here? Now I see, this is not quite gonna work, but I can do up to this at least. Oh, I see what the issue is. This doesn't work. There is more content below the graphic content that needs to show once the user scrolls. Expanded was the previous structure was to make the first child of the column expand to the full screen height. There is more. Your example uses child, which cuts off the rest of the content that was also a part of the internal column. So it does want me to just add another single child constraint box. Trends and kite column, children. And then it wants this to just be an expanded. You say it fills at least the screen height. It needs to fill screen height. It cannot go over and it cannot be less. Does your code accomplish this? Layout builder, gotta restart it again. Come on, man. Single child scroll view. No constrained box, just column. Single child scroll view. So it wants me to get rid of the constrained box. Get rid of the intrinsic height. Oh. Just have the column. Get rid of this. Have the children's sized box constraints max height. Child, and then just have this as the child. Interesting. I'll certainly try it. Okay, that seems to have accomplished what I had in mind. Yeah, we'd probably have to test it again on a smaller screen, but Definitely closer. Let's format that selection. That's driving me crazy. Okay, so that works now. Let me format this as well. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So this view now works as intended. Fort Golds, get the distances to show up. Still working great. And so then the reason for doing this, is it still rolling? The second I bring up the simulator, the capture freezes. That's crazy. I've got to try and figure this out because it's killing a lot of motivation to do these things on video, and I have to hit restart capture 80 times. Opening a new window, stops OBS display capture. Let's look at that. System preferences. Screen and system, no. Privacy tab. There's audio recording. There doesn't seem to be any video recording, which is unusual. Nobody seems to have the exact issue that I'm having with OBS. Maybe I need to specify Mac. Just display capture pausing on Mac. Forced to restart. So 13.1. So update. Just that freezes. My app's not freezing, it's just stopping the capture. And I can't just do a specific window capture. Unless, can I? No, because this forces me to... Like if I do this, I can't show the simulator. I can only show, yeah. It doesn't work. What about application capture? What does that do? No, that's not very helpful. So I want to do a display capture. I want it to be that display. It seems to be the only... the only thing I can do to actually get the whole screen. OBS display capture keeps cutting. It just did it again. Like I'm hitting restart capture. I just hit it there so that the window updated. It's not cutting off the bottom of the screen. Keeps pausing. Have to hit restart capture. Ah, alright, recent. I found someone that has the same issue. Alright, well there's two people having the exact same issue as me. That helps, I guess. I'm not alone. But they also haven't found a solution yet, and that was just this weekend, so. SOL for now. So we made the round infographic display. We got it back to the point that it was at previously, where it's working fine on the phone. And now I think the idea is that I can pass a bool here is for sharing. So let's go back to this. Alright, got it to work. In your refactored code for the round content, you included a bool called is for sharing. You didn't explain what to do with this. Yeah, I do understand what it's for. I just wanted to tell me how to implement it. And just make me use it throughout the whole thing. Okay. All right. I mean, understandable. Understandable. Don't I need to... The entire goal was make this work for sharing on Instagram. Don't need to implement a screen ratio size as well for this. Oh, I do it like that. All right, let's go on app management. Let's do a new file. Let's go sharing management, Dart. What is off stage? How do I implement that inside my existing round display structure? So I can just show it anywhere? In the same widget tree. What? Won't show up on the screen or affect your layout. What is the global key for? I don't understand what the global key is for. So I just need the key so I can call it when I'm trying to export it as an image. Okay, sure. Right inside my round display widget. Up here, we're going to, well, probably even up higher, right? Round display view extends, yeah. Stateless widget. Share a key there. Okay. Got to do it again. So we added the share key here. And then I need that off stage, and we're going to throw that just below where I have the original down here. This is all inside the dialog, right? No, that was up higher. Here we go. So underneath the size box, I'm going to throw it there. Repaint boundary, share key, sized box. Yep. Where is it getting const from? Oh. Yeah, that needs to match this. Did I call is for sharing? Can I just call that at the end? Is that how this works? Is for sharing. We're just gonna make it, no, is for sharing, true. I thought I could call it like that. Graphic, true, comma. This is the sized box. This is the repaint boundary. That's the off stage. This did not work. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. All right, so let's just do a quick double check here. Let's refresh it again, make sure it didn't mess with anything on this view. It did not, okay. All right, and then this is my function to capture and share an image. So we're gonna go to that new file I just made for sharing management. I'm gonna copy this. No, it doesn't want me to do. I can do it in the round display view, I guess. I would like to do it in a new file. Can I do the function for sharing the image to a PNG in a separate file? Share text. Okay, so this is gonna go here. What is Share Plus? Ooh, is Share Plus a new Flutter package? It might be. Share Plus Flutter, yeah. Share your content, text, URI, and files, Android, iOS. Okay, I like that. So we got to add it to my pubspec YAML down here. Save that. Once that finishes uploading, this should be good. There we go. Okay. And then we go back to this. Undefined class global key. Global key image byte format. Both key and image byte format are undefined in your code. Make sure I have that. I do not have material. Where did that go? I guess I copied and pasted it, didn't I? Yeah, that gets rid of the global key, image byte, Flutter rendering, which I did. I imported the rendering package, and I still get that image byte format is undefined. Dart UI is UI. Dot. Okay. All right, and now share is deprecated, and share files isn't defined for type share. I already imported that. Just said that share was deprecated and share X files is deprecated too. We start capture again. I don't know if I'm buying this, but I'll try it. Nope. You still used share. It's still deprecated. Share files isn't defined. Just keep copying and pasting errors. Share widget as that is exactly how I've called it. That was what I already had. Current code is below, which is giving that error. Share plus, share plus. I sure did. No, not screen mirroring. Alright, let's try it again. Share files still not defined. No, method share files isn't defined. Changing code inside of it doesn't help to define the method. Is that right? 11.0? Yeah. The latest version is 11.0.0. I ran flutter pub-get. Right, that's been updated. Must import exactly, sure. Act like that's not what I already had. The import is copied exactly. Copied your code exactly. See below. Still says that share files isn't defined. This is supposed to be the function that lets me take my infographic and export it to an image. That's not going to work. It's not going to work, is it? Might get rid of the error, but it's going to say it's deprecated and share files is still not defined. No. Files is still not defined for type share, like I stated earlier. Share plus, share text. This is the example given from packages website for just share. Not sure why you were introducing a second package. Okay. Don't need crossfile. Don't need that one. And that works. Okay. All right. So I have that function working now, and I have the off stage set up in my view. Is the function just called on a button press? How could I test how the view with an adjusted ratio looks? All right, so let's add a button. Where do I want to add it at? Maybe I can just go right next to the icon button up here. I think so. Let's grab this spacer. Let's go icon button. Let's go icons share. That should be good. And then on my on pressed, we're going to do this. Grab it. And then I need to import that function, or import that package, excuse me. So this is app management and then sharing management. Global key, and I called that share key, right? Yeah, share key. Okay. It's wrapped with a boundaries, global key, yep. Use off stage, wrap your Instagram ratio version. Restart to capture again, deplored. So I added this button here to share it as an image, testing the adjusted ratio. Wrap your Instagram ratio version. Add a toggle button. Okay, sure. Var bool is Instagram preview equals true. Final bool. I gotta go down to my off stage now. Is Instagram preview. It needs to be a false actually. False. Let's reload it. Okay. That's not even close. What is that? I don't know what that is. Off stage, where are you at? With height. It made it so much taller. right next to the round name, I'm going to throw the date. This is all part of the row. Let's go here. Width 30. Center. Didn't change anything. Cool. I don't know why. And ultimately, I want this all to be thrown inside of that expanded. That was my goal. That was my goal. So I can height 40. That made it a little bit bigger. Yeah, so what if I get rid of this? I grab this row. And inside of this round infographic, above here, I throw this. I'm going off the rails a little bit here, but I kind of feel like I need to get this thing to look how it needs to look. This auto size text is really annoying me. Round courses and round dates. Okay. So round courses should be final list string. Round courses, final list string, round dates. And then yes and yes. And then down here, this needs to include round courses and round dates. Round courses, round dates, round dates. And then let me copy and paste this down to here. Does that work? Yeah? Okay. Let's see what I screwed up there. Nothing. Okay. So now the title doesn't stay as you scroll, but with the point being that I wanted this to all actually compress to the same size. I don't understand. I don't understand. All right, so let's go down to the off stage. I'll explain this issue to ChatGPT. The view on the screen looks as intended, but the off stage for Instagram is wonky. It expands to multiple screen lengths with everything very spaced out. Adjust the layout. And then can I do that easily? And that's a lot of code. It's a lot of code that is not super fun to wrap inside an if statement. Setting main axis size, min change would require duplicating a lot of code. Most of it is not refactored beyond the infographic content widget. Wrapping in an if statement is ugly coding. Just to change a single line. Can I do that? All right, is for sharing. Yeah, this is easier. All right, reload it. Okay, restart the capture again because it's been frozen forever, I'm sure. So we got this to look as intended here. It is much more scrunched there. Much more. It is really only working with like, I wonder what happens. I guess I can go check it real quick. Let's go to the fort round. See what happens with distances. So that this would ideally be the Instagram export. I wonder, can I, on this infographic for the build whole score summary, I only wrap that in a container inside of it. I wonder if I could wrap. Where is that build whole score summary? It's at the bottom of this one, right? It is. Container, box decoration, color. Only thing I'm thinking here is that it just looks a little scrunched with the, it's not the worst. It's not the worst, it is a start. So let's come up here, let's set this variable back to true so that I'm not, restart capture again, true. And we'll reload. Just so I'm back to how this view is supposed to look without that preview at the bottom. And then I have the button which does the sharing. Where'd that go? Right here, share widget as image. Okay, this works. I tap the button and share widget as image is called. Where does it go? Is there a way to view it on a simulator? Share element as widget, sharing management. And passing that file path to this does not save it to. Prepares the image for sharing. Okay. A native dialog opens. Okay. Oh, yeah, let's just do that. Okay. Error sharing widget image debug needs paint. I tapped the button and got this error. Okay. Let's try it again. I do have lots of print statements going on here. I need to get rid of those. Print. Yeah. These were part of the things that I fixed previously, those park statements. I have a print in here. Total C2 piping, yeah. Okay. I just tried it again and that did not do anything. Right? Am I missing something here? I copied your main code example directly in your last answer and still get the below error. This is on a simulator. And I know the capture froze again. I might have to go to live streams. I don't know if live streams are going to work any better or if I'm going to have the same issue. Where is your future delayed? Is that actually code that we added in here? Yeah. This seems like a terrible idea. This seems like a terrible idea. I want the widget to show on screen at any point, even if for just a few frames. This feels like poor coding practice. Okay, let me try this. Copy your exactly, and size. No, go away. Window. Platform dispatcher are all not defined. Okay, we'll give it a try. Still errors, render view. Copy your code exactly again, following errors. Come on, come on. We'll see if this time works. Did work. Don't need that. Okay. And then on round display, we're not calling this anymore, which means I should be able to get rid of the off stage. This should be our on pressed. And then the off stage down here, where to go? Right there. I need to copy this first. And I think I can get rid of this. And then right here should be that. As for sharing equals true. Oh, and then I'm missing the comma here. Okay. So let's reload that. Once again, we'll make sure that the original view looks as intended. It does. Now if I share, boundary not ready for painting, what does that mean? This code has no errors, but the button press now gives me await future delayed. This seems tacky too. Then remove the overly aggressive. Check debug needs paint. Boundary is equal to repaint boundary. Is equal to null. Print. Await boundary to image. Where's that try? Yeah, give me this. That's what I'm looking for. Try. Okay, again, I don't know. We'll try it. Tap it. Good. Tap this. Error capturing image. Copy your code exactly. Now back to this error. I'm not rendering the image on screen. I thought with this new function, the off stage wasn't needed, so I deleted it. Do I still need the off stage? This is silly. This is the button press, which is button press for sharing. The round infographic widget displays fine on the screen. Called provide the full sharing file needed to make the above code work. Something tells me it's not going to work. But I don't know. Await image share and util capture and share widget. Yeah. Restart capture. Copy the code exactly. Get this error. Update the full code needed. Take, I don't know how many. Matching your existing code. Context. Is that a part of it? Context. Size. Try it again. Did that just work or did I not click it? Okay, it seems like it worked. No errors at least. Print image saved at file path. So let's run this and see if I can go find out where it's saved at. It's not even running. I'm now not getting any errors, but also none of the print statements are shown. Static future. Which one was that? Capture and share widget. So this one. Running your step 1. I get what is this overlay entry? Is that a part of this code up here? This overlay? Repaint boundary. Okay. Let's see if that helps at all. No. I copied the code below, but still get waiting to paint. That's not what you just told me to do. Yeah, you said add this. For my overlay entry. Let's find out. Restart capture again, naturally. Nope, still stuck on waiting for widget to paint. No. Okay. My file now looks like this. How do I use it? This is something that I've never done before in a previous app, so I'm really relying on ChatGPT right now to make it work for me. I'll just call it. That's all I gotta do. Await to capture and share a widget. That's it. That's so easy. Reload it. Is it gonna work? Probably not, right? Surely not. It's the same thing. Oh my gosh. Same issue. Future void capture and shares right here. This is gonna go here. Now we reload. That's what the code should look like. I ran this code and got hundreds of messages for waiting to paint because your delay was 20 milliseconds and it never resolved. After changing nothing other than the second delay to 2000 and the opacity to 1. Now see the full widget pop up on the screen, and the output is now. Let's me just do this. All right, so I set the opacity back to 0. But then it just runs forever. That's so interesting. I'll change that again. if I set it back to 1, then do I get the right error? Yeah, crazy. I only get this output if the opacity is 1. If it's 0, it is always stuck on waiting to paint. The package is fully imported and neither works. I did that. Test share. I did that though. Right, like I just did this. Does that require like a full restart? Is this an issue? We can try it. Go to pubget. I'm importing the package here. We'll try it. I'll reload the whole thing. We can see if that does the trick. All right, so on main, let's run it again. Never actually used that file. It was substantially faster earlier on this run, so we're going to hope it is again. Capture froze without me even doing anything there. I didn't even open another window and the capture just froze. Did I keep that website open where the... Yeah, I did. Alright, it is running a little bit slower. My Mac seems to be running better, but this is running slower. If OBS is going to have this issue, I'm going to have to find a new platform. Because I'm going to lose my mind if I'm going through the effort of filming it and the capture's freezing. Like it just did it again. Hit restart now. Yeah, it may not even be their fault. Maybe it's Mac. I don't know. But because it's a display capture, I'm pretty sure that even if I was live streaming, I'd have the same issue. because my webcam is always on, right? Like it's never frozen. So I don't know. I'm also getting annoyed now at how long this build is taking to run. It was so much faster earlier. Come on, please. I need to test this. It would be great to get this sharing implemented, because it sounds like on a real device this should just automatically open up the share dialog on Apple or Android. That would be sweet. Make sharing nice and easy. There we go. 150 seconds, 2.5 minutes. It took 20 seconds before I started OBS. It's a pretty substantial increase. Okay. Okay. So if I set the opacity to 0, does that break it then again? Dang it. I hate it so much. I hate it, hate it, hate it. Okay. I just hard stopped the app and reloaded it, and that fixed the package issue. However, I still want to keep the opacity at 0. The only way the share works, it is working with the text and image, is when the opacity is at 1. Is that... I'll try it. This is, I mean, I assume this is still going to be really visible. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. What does print look like? Okay. I'm not super angry about it. Can I go home to files? Is the phone in dark mode? Is that what's happening here? How does that even happen? Good Lord. Okay, so 0.0.1 is a fix. Can save the image to the phone files on the simulator. However, when I open the image in files, the background goes black and a lot of my text is hidden. Why? There's no explicit background color. I see, that makes sense. Add a solid background color to your root widget inside the capture area. But only if That does make sense. Opacity, repaint boundary, container. Does this code only run if the button is pressed, i.e. it won't affect the actual display on the screen? Okay, so I can change, where was I at, this to a container, and then like I have on our round display view, I'm going to go try and grab that same background, and we'll see if this works. So width is a part of it. What's the issue with this? Oh, I'm missing a parentheses. Okay. So we go here, we grab this, and then I need to import style presets. So let's go up to our imports here. We're going to grab style presets. We're going to copy and paste it. That gets rid of the issue. So when I'm capturing the image, I'm not actually capturing the background. It's transparent, so it just defaults to black. But I think I should be able to add this gradient to it and get a nicer image here. Let me go. Can I not delete it? Delete. There we go. Go home. Open this. Yeah, reset for me. Thank you. All right, so this is still loading as intended. I hit this. It pops up. Beautiful. Let me save it to files. Save it. Let me go home. Files. There it is. I don't care that it couldn't be moved to trash. Yeah. It's still a full screen though, so that's not quite working. Okay, so I'm really close though. So this is kind of working. My issue now is that the capture is still taking up a full screen height and is not matching the Instagram ratio that I'm setting. Right, because in that button, I passed the ratio. I don't need this test button anymore. I can verify this by opening up the saved image in the app files. It looks as intended, but is full screen height. All of my content is at the top. The content matches the ratio, but there is a large space below included in the image. Inside my capture widget, wrap it to and expand it. I already captured this down here. This is where I call the round infographic content. I just copied this in my last message, so you should have already had it. I am not calling it inside of my capture function. An infographic, all right. This is how the column is set up. Max and space even. So it should be both. So you're saying that I can take this off. We'll find out. Doesn't want to reload right now. What's the issue here? Why are you stuck? Oh, it's because I'm in the files one, not the, yeah. What, can't share to a, there we go. Now you can restart. Yeah, okay. So this is fine. If I share, pops up, save it to files, save it, go home, files. It's still the full screen height, dang it. Yes, this now expands the content to the full height of the container. The issue is that this height is the full screen, not the Instagram sizing I'm trying to pass, right? Because I don't think this is well beyond a 4.5. Your suggestion did not fix my issue of the height of the capture. You only made the content expand to fit the height. That is the issue itself. Unconstrained box. You said use unconstrained box and then used center and sized box. Child widget. Where's this at? Sharing management. I don't even know where it's talking about right now. I pass the size here. Below is my full sharing function. Your code needs to fit within this, not just suggest something new without showing how to implement it. We're gonna get there. We are going to get there. I know capture's frozen. replace my current build with this. Override widget build context, which is here. Replace that with, with this. Should you just set the opacity at 1? You did. Where did the opacity go? I said I liked it at 0.01 and said many times that I did not want it at 1. Infographic. Factor. Opacity. I don't love this solution, but I will try it. It's not letting me delete files, so I will have to just keep checking new ones until it works. Here, this works fine. Where did the whole screen go? That is not a solution. No, this is not close to what I want. Your code for changing the opacity causes the entire view to disappear. The share button is pressed. Leave my code for opacity at the set 0, as I had it before. Stop changing code that I say works well. This is my round infographic code. You are not to change this with any of your suggestions. Understood? This is child opacity, repaint boundaries. So now we're back to the sharing management here. Restart capture. Where did this even come from? Repaint boundary, center. So we're going to grab the repaint boundary, we're going to paste this in, we're going to hit refresh. Good, it's not affecting anything. Save it to the files, save, go home, save was successful. I don't see anything that is 723. This is the latest, so it's the same issue. Frustrating. This is my build context. This now has the original issue again. Ratio of the content fits exactly how it should. It's respecting the Instagram ratio sizing. Issue is that the background, in this case the linear gradient I've applied, stretches to the full height of the phone screen and goes well beyond the Instagram ratio. Maybe that's a better description. We'll find out. Change what part to this? Replace center with a sized box. So we are here, center with a sized box. Child. Wrap opacity in an align. So we're going to wrap this in a sized box. Wrap with a sized box. This is going to become a line. Line sized box. And then opacity is next. Yep. Inside of a line needs to be this. All right, we'll try your suggestion again. I need these changes. All right, I think I am still, yeah. I was gonna say still in the files view, so now we gotta go back to the app. We'll let it reload here. Let's hop back over. Still good. Sharing, still good. Pops up, save to files, save. Now let's go check it out. Same exact issue. And the linear gradient is still stretching to the full screen height. Remove the single child. Okay. I removed single child. Scroll view. Okay, so now let's reset. See what that does. That is only affecting still the capture, so the view should still look fine. If we share it, save to files, save, share success, go home, files. Now the content stretches to the full screen height. So I went So this one change went from just the gradient going beyond the bounds to now all of the content is going beyond the bounds of the Instagram ratio. Keep trying here. And it really is scaffold. Like, I'm not changing any of the code that actually impacts the view here. Fitted box, sized box, widget to capture, yeah. Gotta go back to the app. Sure. Save the files, save the little preview definitely looked different. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Definitely a bad thing. Good Lord. Copied that code exactly. And now all of the contents go well beyond the edge of the screen, both width and height. You are making the images bigger, not smaller. Why this works? We'll see. We'll see if this is why this works. Restart capture. I might go make a comment on that OBS post and see if I can put some pressure on it. So this whole time, what have I actually done in this coding session? Has it just been this share function? I think it has. This is what I started with. It's important. It's important. It needs to get done. But, man, one thing. It's rough. Oh, this is fun. Copied your code exactly again, and now get this error. Let's do it again. Woohoo! I'm at least already on the app at this point, so that's good. Wrong. Now this error. pretty annoying that it hasn't been able to fix this, just because there's no other code in my round display view that should be affecting it. I'm fairly sure. All right, we fixed the constrained issue. Now let's go see why this doesn't do what I need it to. Okay, positives. We have the 4:5 ratio. We do. Maybe it's a good thing to capture pause for that. This is what we're at now. All right, this latest code gave me a full capture with the correct ratio. Good job there. However, it looks terrible. All of my content is really small and spaced out. Text is very small. Any idea as to why that would be? Would copying my infographic content widget here help? I see, update my capture call like so. Okay. Let's try that. That makes sense. So setting the screen width here to be 1080 instead of my phone screen width, which is what it should have been anyways. So now let's go home. Let's open up the app again. Let's give that a try. Oh, work for me. Pretty please. Pretty please. Save to files. Save. Home. Files. Oh, it's closer. So, font size. The issue is that I'm hard coding some of the font size, I think. Like, let me go down to that round infographic here. Font size, yeah. I wonder if I don't set those. Like, let's say I guess main question here. Let's go home. Let's reset the app. Let me open it back up. And let me try just hiding these font sizes one by one and see if they break the view. Right, because I don't want to make it much bigger. So that made it substantially smaller, which is not what I want to do. Okay. All right. So this works, and now my only issue is that my hard-coded font sizes are not adjusting. I want to see what its recommendation is, because my thought is that I could just hard-code a new size if I'm sharing it. Scale fonts manually, yeah. So this was my thought here. Extract a helper method. This assumes a set. Am I better off just hard coding a size for the share feature as the width of the capture is never changing regardless of the width of the phone screen? Question mark, restart capture. Want to finish that answer. Okay. I can get behind that. Let's open that back up. Times 0.05. That certainly doesn't work, but I like the initial idea. Is for sharing is what I'm going to have. So we can do this base width equals 1080. Final int base width. Okay. And then down here, we're not changing round name. That's not going to be tappable. So 30 is sharing. Base width. How are they doing that? Screen width divided by 1080. Maybe it's like a screen width times 30. Like, does that even work? I don't know. And then up in this sharing, I can pass that. We can go base width 1080. Let's just reload that. Kick it back. And so here, the code that I changed was just on the round courses, so just on this. So now I want to see how just that one looks. We'll see if it's any better. So this was the one I did a minute ago. This is what I just did. The text did not change at all. And my passing is for sharing. Is for sharing equals true. Down here I'm passing it as false, right? Not passing it at all, but it's defaulting to false. So it didn't get any bigger. Let's do a little ask here. I adjusted the font size for one widget to be like so, but the text didn't get any bigger in the capture. Doesn't your the font size on the phone screen display is 30. It needs to be much larger for the capture. Restart. Isn't that what I just did? That's what I just did. Isn't your multiplier suggestion exactly like what I copied above? Didn't work. They are the same. Dang it. That's right. They are the same. Okay, so this original screen width equals 390. Final int original screen width. Okay, and then here, what's the issue? Oh, this. Original screen width, and then on the display, I can actually pass the screen width. I forgot that this is not the capture. Up at the capture, I forgot that I just set it to 1080 right here instead of keeping it at the right value. Original screen width, and then this can be equal to screen width. That passes a double though. Okay. Sure. Double. We good now? Reset. Home. App. All right, work for me. Maybe it's big enough. I think that should be, we should at least get the text size to increase now. Save it to the files, save it, go home, files. Yes, I can see it's bigger. Beautiful. All right. Next thing. Man, we're getting there. We are getting there. So let's, I'm going to sneeze here. Thought I was, maybe not. Feels like it should be coming, but I need to go capture that font size. And I need to use the same thing here on every single item. So round dates, I'm not setting a size on that one currently. I do want it to be much smaller though, right? It's maybe at like a 15 right now. I think it should be the same font as well. So this is going to be 15, 15. Maybe that's too small. We can adjust it fairly easily. This one is already 30, so that makes this really easy. We just copy paste. This one is 15. So we'll grab this, font size 15. And the nice thing is that regardless of the size of phone, this capture should always look the same. Should. Score bar, I'm gonna have to pass this. Let's go open that up right now before I go too much further. So around imp graphic is what I'm changing. Score bar, final int font size, required this font size, and then our text. Ooh. because it wasn't changing in that capture, right? It was still really small. Yeah. Still really small. The height, though. This is maybe my issue, actually. It's set at 30, so I think I can actually just use this. Height is equal to font size. So this needs to be container size. Container size, container size, and container size. Needs to be a double. Okay, so this is fine. And now when I call it, we can go container size. And then I need to go copy this. And then this becomes 30, or it becomes that, yeah. Okay. So that might take care of the issue. We might need to adjust, but that's going to be close. The build whole score summary, we're also going to need to pass. So go back to the round display. Inside of this, I do not set font sizes, and I should. So if I go back to the app, how big do I think those are? Roughly the size of that, which I think is about a 15. So I might try and do the same thing here. Build whole score summary. I need a double font size. And then I just need, we're going to hard set these here, font size. Let's call it text size just so it's not confusing. Then we need to grab this, copy it, score box. I don't recall if I set sizing on that. Hey there. Thank you. Where was that, around display graphics? Score box? Yeah, here we go. I do hard code as size. All right, so I can pass it. I can't just pass it, go back to here. So I passed text size. So I need to convert, it was at 40. The text size I'm setting at 15 though, right? Let's do a double text size and then a double score box size. Double score box size. And then I will need to pass it here. Size, score box size. Okay, so the text I need to be 15, the score box I need to be 40. So, text size, score box size. What does it not? Positional arguments. Well, yeah, I just. Oh. this. All right, and so this one needs to be 15. And this one needs to be 40. Okay. And then I have to do the same thing here. I think that should work. The circular percentage indicator, yeah. Okay, but so the size is updating properly because I'm passing the 1080 there. Restart capture. But we'll need to update the text size. So circular percentage indicator size is there. But then it's the font size. Let me go back to that graphic real quick. Was any of the text actually? Those were good. The labels were not. Yes. So they're at 35 right now. So we're going to add a final double label size. Required this label size. And then this is going to be label size. Oh. So I think that can actually just be this. I set it at 35, we can make it 35. So that needs to be NA size actually. NA size, and then a final double label size, and then a required this dot NA size. So then this one would be NA size, which was at 35. And then this one needs to be label size. It was at 15. Okay. So we have 35 and 15. NA size is 35. Get rid of those. And then label size was 15. So these might also change how the graphic looked on a normal screen. So we need to make sure that I didn't make any changes there. Need to make sure that this screen still looks the same on the actual phone, which it does, which is good. I did change the date up here. I'm just using the current font, but let's try the share. 42 pixels on the bottom. Okay. So I guess actually let's try to share it again. Let's see what the overflow is in the files, and then I can adjust accordingly. This was the latest. All right, so I get the overflow. I mean, I'm getting there. I am 100% getting there. The labels look good. This is too big. Well, no, this text is good. It is really close. So I think the sizing can change. Screen width times 0.019. And what am I setting screen width to otherwise? Round display graphics. 100. That's what I'm setting it to. But then I'm passing that 0.19. So let's go size. Let's do this. Is for sharing. Here. Else, if I call it down, when I call that down below, am I setting a size? Further up, further up. I am still passing screen width. Okay, so I can do screen width times 0.19. Here I can do I was still passing that, so I can do screen width times 0.17 maybe, just going to make it a little bit smaller, which might just take care of that issue on its own. The build score summary, I seem to have missed a font size there. Distances. Oh, it's in the score box. That's where I'm missing it here. Round display graphics. Score box. Text, yeah. Font size. Size -10. Is that gonna work? I'm passing 40, right? Score box size. When I call it from here, passing 40. Text size, score box size. Text is 15. Oh, so it should just be that text size. Build whole score summary. Text size. And then on the build whole score summary, when I call the score box, getting all kinds of mixed up here. Got size there. I think I need a text size final. Double text size. This text size is equal to 15.0. I'm going to call text size. Font size is equal to text size. So I need that. I need this. Excuse me. And then we need to call it from round display. Text size is equal to text size, comma. All right, let me just see where that got me. And then we might call it there. I might have to jump back into this. So I'm reloading the app right now after making some changes to the code here. So the display still looks normal on the screen. We're going to share it. We get the output. We're saving it to the files. Let's go back. this is the latest. All right, so no overflow. We did fix this. So there's still lots of things to improve on this, but we have a share that is really close to the same size. So obviously increase the text here, increase the thickness of these lines, increase the thickness of this, remove this button, space these out more. This looks funky, so I got to change that. But I think this is a really important part of the app, and we got pretty close. So, I'm not even gonna update the version history file until I have the share function working as intended all the way. But it's a good start. So I am gonna call it there for this video. I'll figure out this restart capture thing so it stops freezing, but it seems to be some issue with Mac and the software that I use to record not being compatible. I don't know what that issue is. It's not one I've encountered previously. Didn't have it in all of the alpha live streams, but it's certainly existing now. One of them updated and changed something. I don't know what, so we'll see if I can figure out an issue to that or a fix to that. But yeah, otherwise we'll call it there. There's probably going to be videos every single day this week. I've got a lot to do, so we'll be back soon. That'll wrap it up for the second video today. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.